All right, here we go. This is the introduction for episode 2 of the Dylan with Life podcast. On this episode, you can look forward to things like, I guess a lot of plastic waste now with Freezies when I think about it. Fuck Freezies, I guess. Used to be cool when the planet wasn't dying, or at least when we weren't caring about the planet dying. And also things like, I end up just stuck in my head, and then I feel like I'm deep in my head, like I'm behind my eyes. Like I can see out of them, but I'm not looking through them. I'm like at the other end of the room, looking across to the window that is my eyes. And a little bit, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. So, stay tuned. This will be exciting. Let's get into it.
I used to think if I couldn't find hope, I should just let it all go. I used to think if I couldn't make dreams come true, I should just let them all go. When life seems impossible, look from a new angle, change just one little thing. When life feels intolerable, find your true source of love. Concentrate, focus on love. Center and focus on love. Dedicate.
And away we go. Episode 2. I am just coming off a little bit of a cold here, so my voice may sound a little bit different than what you're used to through one episode so far. Haven't received any emails or social media interaction yet. That could be because the first episode hasn't even gone live yet. I don't think that's the reason. It's probably because I didn't even give them out in the first episode. So in the world where that first episode leaked, nobody even knows. So I'll do that now. I did want that first episode to be just, here. This is what it is. This is episode 1. This is what it's going to be like. See how you like it. If you've made it this far, you're on episode 2, then either you liked that first episode or you're really bored. Maybe the autoplay's on and you fell asleep or went for a walk and got lost. But in any case, the email address for the podcast is dylanwithlifepod@gmail.com. dylanwithlifepod@gmail.com. We've got a Twitter as well. We're on the Twitter sphere. That is at dylanwithlifepc, because somebody's got Dylan with Life, both the email address and the Twitter handle, but they don't use it. So it's like so frustrating. And then Twitter's handles, I guess, don't have enough characters to do Dylan with Life Pod. So we got Dylan with Life PC for podcast. There's also an Instagram set up that is like the email address, that is Dylan with Life Pod. So give us a follow on the Twitter, give us a follow on Instagram, send any emails through the Gmail there. You can obviously reach out through Twitter and through Instagram. On the Instagram, I want to put up some visual accompaniments for the podcast because it is just audio now. So maybe some pictures, maybe we'll make some memes or dub over them. Just have something there to give you a little bit extra. So check us out there, follow us there, interact with us on there. I will try to engage as much as I can if I get any engagements, for sure. Recommendation this episode is going to be a song. Definitely want to say what the recommendation is going to be at the beginning of the episode. Hook, line, and sinker, get you in there. Get you wait until the end, like, oh my God, what's he going to recommend? What song is it going to be? Aside from that, what's going on? I got locked out of my house on Monday. Is there any worse inconvenience than getting locked out of your own home? Honestly. It's like you are literally the only person who has free in and out privileges at all times, and yet you're standing there with 2 inches of wood separating you from all your belongings, denying you rest and relaxation, food, and whatever else you do in there. It's pretty frustrating. I accidentally gave my house key to a coworker instead of the work office key. Yeah, so it's on me, which is even more frustrating. I wish I could blame somebody, but that's completely my fault. It's kind of like the ice cream machine being down. That's another inconvenience. It's just, it's got to be up there. No house key. I feel like the worst night would be locked out of your house, decide you want some ice cream. So you go to McDonald's, ask for a cone, and of course they're like, nah, the ice cream machine's down. Sorry, man. It's like, I don't want ice cream all the time. I mean, I do actually, probably. But I don't know I want ice cream all the time. And when I do want it, I expect to get it when I ask for it. Single-ply toilet paper is another inconvenience, and really we need to stop manufacturing that stuff. That's not doing anybody any favors. All we're doing is allowing companies to cheap out on the toilet paper that they buy. And that's an uncomfortable time. Imagine if every single bathroom had 4-ply. What a world we would be living in. Be able to use the washroom comfortably at all times, no matter where you are. I feel like that's the one thing that makes public restrooms so unappealing. It's not the filth. We're used to filth when we're out and about. It's the single-ply toilet paper. It just it cheapens it. It cheapens the whole experience. You could have the nicest public restroom, single-ply toilet paper. It's the worst washroom. One of the worst, at least. I don't know how we're letting people get away with it. Speaking of toilets, do you think we're going to start making shorter toilets? You've got the squatty potty, which is just a stool to go under you. You could get rid of the squatty potty by just making toilets smaller to begin with. First off, it helps shorter people. It's easier for them. And then for taller people, you're set. You're in that squatting position. It's all gonna slide right out. Don't know why that's not being done. Every toilet should be 6 to 8 inches lower and have 4-ply toilet paper right beside it. Probably be a lot more peace in the world if that was the case. I'm not saying the people of Hong Kong wouldn't be pissed right now the way that they are, but I bet you it'd be a little bit easier if they had 4-ply everywhere. But really, fuck China. Not like Chinese people, but the government over there. Probably shouldn't get into this on here, but oh man. Definitely rooting for the people of Hong Kong for what they're doing. I don't see a way that they succeed. Unfortunately, you can see that all the governments around the world are quiet on the subject. You know, the NBA is obviously being drawn into it right now with the general manager of the Houston Rockets making his comments saying that he's with the people of Hong Kong, having to delete the tweet, having the owner of the team come out and say that his words do not represent the words of the Houston Rockets, and then commissioner has to come out and make a statement, which was as good as you could hope for from the commissioner, knowing how big of a moneymaker China is for them. Basically said that he allows players and GMs to say and, speak their mind. But it is kind of crazy how the NBA has really chosen to back off and stay quiet. It's a little disappointing. They've done great things for the movements in the States. Always had a voice. Were always there, not afraid to speak their minds. But it really, I guess it shows the power of money. I feel like childhood and school did not set me up, at least, for the importance of money later in life. And a lot of that definitely comes from my home. We didn't have a lot of money, so wasn't really taught what to do with it, how to save it, how to spend it properly. But it was like, I don't know. It was like, oh, here's 20 cents. You can go buy all the candy you want. And now it's like, I didn't even stop for 20 cents because it means nothing. But I also could use 20 cents right now. Could use a lot of 20 cents. What my childhood and school did set me up for was a bunch of useless things. Like quicksand. Do you remember how aware of something called quicksand you were growing up? How terrifying a thought it was that you'd fall in quicksand one day? When I was like 8, I definitely thought I would have encountered some quicksand by this point. Like almost 20 years later, I'm not even sure if quicksand's real. It's definitely not real the way I thought it was. I thought it like you fall in and take like 20 seconds and then you'd be gone under the sand. And then I also thought it would be everywhere. I feel like Freezies were really big as a kid too. And I know they're still around, but I thought they'd be a staple of adult life. I thought it'd just be Freezies everywhere. I thought they'd be at bars. Why don't bars do Freezies? I guess there's a lot of plastic waste now with Freezies when I think about it. Fuck Freezies, I guess. Used to be cool. When the planet wasn't dying, or at least when we weren't caring about the planet dying. Guinea pigs are another one. I feel like every classroom had a guinea pig in it, and now it's like, I'm not even sure if guinea pigs are real either. They might be like quicksand. Like, did I just dream that they were a thing growing up? I'd be fine if guinea pigs never existed, honestly. Hamsters are great. I had a few hamsters growing up. Beautiful animals. Very attached to them. Still think about my hamsters to this day. They're great. Bunnies are cute. You know, they get brought up. You see bunnies around. Bunnies are great. Pinky in the brain, you know? Can't go wrong with a couple of mice. And at least I know rats are real. I see them. Ferrets are something. They're like a cat got freaky with a snake and then got freaky with another cat. So they're pretty cool. All good animals, those ones. But like, what is a guinea pig really good for? I'm sorry if you had a guinea pig, but I think it's a dumb animal. Probably why they test on it. Nobody really cares. Also, band. Elementary school made me think band was going to be... Not that music's not a thing, but like band class. Elementary school band, screw that. I wanted to join so bad. I remember you couldn't join unless you were grade 6 or 7, so it was like waited till grade 6 and I was finally allowed. Went, and first off, all the classes were during lunch. So I had to give up lunch, which was by far my best subject. And then I remember they didn't even have instruments for the first few weeks. So it's like, not only am I missing out on lunch, I'm doing band without instruments, which as a kid is the only reason I'm there, is to like make noise with shiny things. But I guess, that being said, an elementary band teacher has got to be one of the hardest jobs I can imagine. I do not know how Jack Black did it. Put yourself in the shoes of an elementary band teacher. Put yourself in the shoes of a music teacher of any kind. Hard enough to teach an adult, smart, capable, life together, enrolled themselves in piano lessons adult. Now think about a bunch of 12-year-olds that have never picked up a tuba before, but they're so jazzed to play the tuba. They downed the box of cookies at recess. Their teacher in between then and lunch just sort of let them play Heads Up, 7 Up, and now you're expected to teach them how to play the tuba. Sounds god-awful. Sounds like if I was doing it, I also wouldn't bring instruments for the first few weeks and get all the little dumb kids like me to just run back off to lunch after a few sessions. Then you get down to like the real diehards, the ones that probably are already playing instruments besides the recorder. So maybe not fuck band, but it would have been nice to know how to play an instrument. I believe that the people that know how to play instruments are generally good people. I don't think I have any experiences with people that know how to play instruments that are just pieces of crap. In fact, the people that I know that know how to play instruments are really good people. They're some of the better people I know. You know, your entire life is determined and shaped by the people that you interact with. from characters and shows that you watch, to the podcasts you listen to your friends, your coworkers, as well as just like the people in your city, the people that surround you. They determine your life. Like your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences are all going to be affected by the people around you. Unless you live out in the middle of nowhere by yourself, then really what goes on in your life is not up to you. You've really got to step back and look at the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Because at the end of the day, it is up to you. The job that you work at is up to you. The friends that you hang out with, those are your choices. The city that you live in, for the most part, that is your choice. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are in bad situations and they might be stuck in certain places, but there's a lot of different decisions that you can make to change the people that you surround yourself with. And by doing that, you'll change your life. So you need to make sure that the people that you're spending your time with are helping you be and live the life that you want to live. It's unfortunate, but sometimes, you've got friends that they're just not the right people to surround yourself with for you to get to the next phase of your life. They were great for you at one point. They don't even have to be bad people. They can be great people. But if they're just different from you or different from what you want, then they're not the people that you should be keeping in your life because they're just holding you back. If you're having different issues, anger issues, or you're frustrated with this or frustrated with that, maybe you need to change the type of content that you're consuming, the TV shows that you're watching. Are you watching characters that are angry or characters that are sad? Or are you listening to people that are sad or angry or are promoting a life that's unhealthy or promoting things that you want to stop doing? Then you need to stop surrounding yourself with those people. Again, whether that's friends, coworkers, or even just movies that you're watching. There's something to be said about different perspective and having a wide range of people in your life so that you can get and see all of those. But for the most part, it's going to be a lot easier to make positive changes for yourself if you're surrounding yourself with the people that are going to help you with those changes. Maybe you just need to step away for a little bit to break those habits that you've got with your friends or with your coworkers. Step away for a little bit. You want to start going to the gym, but none of your friends, none of your coworkers, none of them go to the gym. So you can all sort of laugh about and joke. But if you, start watching something or listening to something, you don't have to go heavy into it, but definitely if that's something that you want to do, then start surrounding yourself with people or content where that's a thing. And that'll help shape your life that way. If you want to be more positive, start filling yourself with more positive people, more positive influences. Not easy decisions to make for sure, but it's something that you can do to change your life. But also that change can start with you. You can be that positive influence amongst your friends. Maybe you all talk and there's certain things that you would all like to change, but you're stuck in the same rut, that same spin cycle that you're in, going around and doing the same things and never making those changes that you want to make. Then maybe it's your turn to be that change, be that positivity. Start throwing out those recommendations. It's tough. I don't want to tell anybody to leave their friends, so try to be the catalyst for you and your circle. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. You don't have to feel stuck all the time. You don't have to feel down. And I don't want this to come across like, if you're not feeling good or you're sad or you're anxious or you're dealing with something, just change it. It's that easy. That's all you got to do. You doofus. Turn that frown upside down. Go have some ice cream. Make sure the machine's not broken. Because I deal with this shit. Been sick recently, as I mentioned at the start, and whenever I'm sick, my anxiety goes off the wall. It gets crazy. I get tunnel vision for days. And I hear static, and it's so tough. I really have to lock myself out of everything. I end up just stuck in my head, and then I feel like I'm deep in my head, like I'm behind my eyes. Like I can see out of them, but I'm not looking through them. I'm like at the other end of the room, looking across to the window that is my eyes. When my anxiety, I've got this metaphor, I guess, for my anxiety that I've been using recently over the past probably year and a half. That's been helping. I picture myself, and I don't do this just when I'm feeling anxious. I try to do this as much as I can. But I picture myself walking down a trail, and that's sort of just my life. You know, as I wake up and I go to work and I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm doing all these regular life things, and wherever I'm at, it's me walking down this trail. And then my anxiety is this pit in the middle of the trail, and I fall in it. And I cannot get out. And it's dark, and it's wet, it's uncomfortable, it's cold, and I can't get out of it for the life of me. And I feel so stuck. And I look up and I can just barely see the light because I'm so deep in it. And at first you have no idea how to get out of it. Like, how do you? There's no rope, there's no ladder. So you get stuck in it for a long time because you don't know what you should be doing. But eventually, whether it's days or months or years, you do find a way out of it, if even not for a brief moment, for a day, for some hours. You do get out of it and you realize that, it's not there anymore. Or what happens is you realize it's there again and you hadn't realized that it was gone. So basically, you know what? You find your way out of that pit and you're back walking on the path. You've still sort of got that feeling. It's behind you. You know it's back there. And now you're just back walking down this trail. And then after a while of dealing with it, you start to realize that you can see the pit when it's coming. You can see it in the trail ahead of you. And that's the next step, is recognizing when those feelings are coming on. The step after that is trying to not fall in the pit. So, I visualize trying to go around it or taking a running start and trying to jump over it. Sometimes that works. Sometimes I can just sort of slide right by it. A lot of times I still slip trying to go around, or I don't make the jump and I fall back in. But now that I know I've been in it, I know I'm going to get out somehow. Last time I was in the pit, maybe I had to take a me day, take a day off, go for breakfast by myself. Maybe I had to read. Maybe I had to listen to my favorite podcast, just sit there and find a way out of it. But, that's how I got out of it last time. So you start realizing, okay, well, last time, how did I get out of the pit? Okay, try those things again. A lot of times, what you did to get out of the pit the last time works for this one. Not always the case. You start to learn different ways. So this time you get out of the pit quicker. Now you're back walking on that trail. Another pit's coming. It's just waves of anxiety. The goal is to recognize them as they're coming towards you, and then see if you can avoid them. See if you can not fall in. Maybe not fall in as deep. Get out quicker. Remember what you did last time. Because unfortunately, if you deal with anxiety, you're going to keep having these experiences on this walk of life. You're never going to be away from it forever. So it's all about how you can deal with it, how you can recognize it coming, how you can avoid it, how you can lessen the time that you spend stuck there. So I'm not saying just leave all your friends, tell them to fuck themselves and move somewhere else, and that's going to fix all your problems. I know it's not that easy, but there's something to be said for making positive changes as much as you can and trying to be that positive change as much as you can. I guess the main thing I'm saying is, if you're having troubles being the positive change or finding the positive change yourself, then maybe you need to change your surroundings. Again, even if it's just for a little bit of time. We need more vacation time. In May, I went and did a 10-day road trip. That was it for me as far as traveling. I'd never done anything like that. I went down through the states, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana. Did not see myself going to those states for any reason at any point. But the goal was Yellowstone National Park, so that's where I went. I changed my surroundings for 10 days, and oh man, so healthy. If not for permanent positive change, just for different perspective. We need to get out in nature a little bit more. Everybody does. If you live in a city and you get caught in the hustle and bustle of work life and a couple of drinks with friends and then back home and work and friends and home, it's easy to go a long time just surrounded by concrete and not getting out into a forest or to a lake or to a river, especially a lot of cities in the world. To bring it back to last episode with the houseplants talk, since I've gotten more and more houseplants, I felt a lot better at home. You know, when I'm out Yellowstone in the trees surrounded by life, I feel more full of life. When I'm out walking through the city, it's just concrete everywhere. I feel like concrete. I feel stuck. Don't feel very lively. But you know, when I go camping, oh man, never feel more myself than when I'm camping. Just out in the middle of it. So natural, so pleasing, so nice. Everybody needs to get out somewhere. It's not going to be as easy for most. I live in a place that's amazing for it, but go to a park. Spend the day in a park. Get away from your regular. But yeah, the recommendation today, the song is called These Days by Mighty Oaks. And I actually reached out to them over the past week, trying to see if they would let me use the song on the podcast. I got no reply. So, I guess we're going to have to build a listenership and then get everybody to bombard them and be like, hey, let Dylan use the song. By the way, you guys are going to be called Dylinquents. The following here. Whether that's 7 of you or 7 billion. Just going to be an army of delinquents. Because puns are fun. Right? Speaking of following, go to the Twitter, go to the Instagram, give a follow, send a tweet. I think we're approaching that time of the podcast where we stop doing it for the day. So, happy whatever day it is when you're listening to this. It's currently October 13th, 2019 as of this recording, but it could be June 29th, 2032. And if it is, hope the planet's still alive. Hope they stop doing Freezies and single-use plastic. Rest in peace, delinquents. See you in episode 3.